I'm standing alone in a dry land, a desolate home loathing in a tired land. I am reaping what I sow with tied hands. I see the seed I hold ain't growing in my hands, 'cause I'm too scared to see the growth in his plants. So I hold on to my ghosts and skeletons that keep hung like the coats in my closet, afraid to plant the seed, so what I sow is what I am without the growth that's caused in growing a seed you planted from the root of your palm in. So I stay stuck in the rut I dug, holding the seed, afraid to pluck it out from my hand. All while I am getting buried alive from my demons that deprive me the very life that's in my hands, afraid to drop my plans in the form of a seed and just believe it'll blossom blessings to reap. But the phrase just believe is hard to achieve for a sinner like me that's been addicted to beat down for the past decade of me. Now I read, trying to find loopholes and believing that he can make the seed grow while I clench my hand tightly. But to be frank, that's just my flesh striving to be in control. But to be Connor, sorry dog, still in the search of who I am, since demons mess with the robotics in my mind like Goddard. Meshed and mixed up wires, now I'm honored to happily announce my name is Jimmy. The neurons and neutrons mix sporadically, it's MPD that I father, the founder of this disease in me, but still haven't found her. Him. Whoever I really am. That's why I write with passion at the ink of this pen. I've been pressed in past tense, now its ink is pressed in the present while present as I present this book wrapped like a present bow tied, hoping it unfolds in relatable ways to you and hits the bullseye, right at the center point of your mind, so I and you could tackle this red flag so the bull's ride is over. I'm announcing it now. I'm stepping in as modern-day David with those AKs at both sides, spraying lead between those eyes, through foe's mind, then out past the side of bull's mind, dropping the bullseye, grasping his horns with soul pride. So child, you could have a hope mind without soul ties that created amongst you, chasing you to a low rider path and no guy in the back row. I don't mean a low rider with chrome tires, I mean rock bottom of life due to the fact you had the blood of Christ over your life. And that's the reason I mess with most times, 'cause I had the blood of Christ over me and read letters written in red. Just like bulls, demons are obsessed with the color red and will charge it no matter where or when. But I can sit here all day and give you intricate metaphoric advice with pen and allow you to embody a trauma onto me. But the stuff I deal with I cannot seem to do alone, to be honest, that's all I've been. Alone. Nobody willing to be here for me and love me for me. All I've known is conditional love, or so it seems. Maybe peeps just have odd ways of showing it, but why can't he or she show it like I do to thee? Why can't my family tree ever look at me as just a person that bleeds and not some prodigy that can decently write? My writings come from pain, so just ask me once or twice if I'm alright. It's hard to just trust and believe, alright, because I haven't really been given the cards to trust and believe as easily as some might. Single parents I barely see, maybe once in a blue moon. One not by choice, but the other I choose. Scarred from abandonment and having to do things such as step up as the parent for my little dude, being the father to my little brother, so we saturated and smothered in unconditional love and doesn't have to wonder, do you love me too? Lies from the under telling me my pops doesn't wanna come into the same proximity I breathe that he helped create. I know dad, that ain't true. Right? Impostered as a father, biologically a brother, credited with applause or with an Oscar shuttled on my mental. Frustrated but the example to a sad kid and being the protagonist, I became an activist, so I jotted it down in stencil. My brain is a rental, all while trying to be a dude. Building my own life doesn't mesh nice unless jotted down with a pencil and a rhythmic pattern behind an instrumental. Third till done, I'm working every chance I can to have human interaction, 'cause besides those few hours peeps can make do without me. Friendly to people but friendless, has me questioning with louder thoughts am I the problem? Thoughts are endless, and middle fingers and spit to all of my bullies as they planted disbelief in a faith-bound teen. Well, now I'm 20, so I suppose, so faith-bound man, two-faced family jam that love me, but this the heart of my poetry, and the heart of my poetry stems from my heart. This is my art of releasing a ministry to people that hurt. And lastly is the first reason to this written dialogue, the audited biography. I decided to write this song. Finally it went to my digestive system. Took me 11 years to ever know what happened to me. What I mean is being sexually touched close to 6 to 7 years young by an old friend that will never be mentioned, 'cause I understand hurt people, but I just needed to release this out my system so the seed stem can finally grow. So just know, you're forgiven but not forgotten, 'cause I believe in that reason is the stem of my treason and not season. I bond of trust with a male being in self-perpetuated catalogs of each permanent innocence terminated I've left on women in the season, 'cause I don't believe in keeping people close, so I wear them in seasons like seasonal coats or a cloak of identity I coax myself to believe is who I am. So Lord, do you see? The reason trusting and believing is hard for me, especially the thought of trusting a male figure. Only show my heart audibly. Other than that, wearing my heart on my sleeve ain't as pliable as lotion, so I figure I block myself from feeling emotions, 'cause I hold this thought in my mind. I'm tired of trusting people and getting hurt in the same breath as I say I love you with. but it's this thought that keeps me captivated in an ounce of trust, and that's love, love, and only love. No one can separate you from the love of God which is in Christ Jesus, and Lord, if you're in me, then I know that this time is love. I mean, for me at least. We'll go to the edge of the sea and pick out the greatest beast, tack a stone to his face, carve a tune that states R.I.P. from the stone that was the COD, bury it 6 feet past the level of how deep the sea seems, all for Rapunzel. And to many that stated statement left you tangled in anguished, anxious thoughts like wait demanding answers like an ultimatum. But it's one's heart I pray that touches, and if not, I'm not ashamed that I displayed my heart on crutches. After all, it's only a journal subject I simply hope people feel touched from. So with that, help me to let go of the seed I hold on to so tight in my hand, so I could reap the blessing that has been hindering for 10 plus years. Like Don Juan, I am tired of being the dehydrated, scarce, dry, desolate land when you created me to be fruitful. Cause it ain't suitable for the crucible Christian I am when I became baptized in the seed of truth with the sacrifice of my plans. I need to be free from this, or at least send me out like Big James went with the crutch, so people stop and ask how in the world have you not given up. Stand square on my tracks and point up, saying I am not of this world, it's only cause I stand alienated to the world. To answer your question, it's cause of my Father's love, and a simple sacrifice to ungrasp my hands and cup, my palms resting the seed in the rut I dug, being obedient and doing my best to trust. I'm only here cause of my Father's love, so God, have all the glory in the story, this is us.